Hi everybody, welcome to my channel Frugalisama. My name's Sam. This is where I talk about all things sewing. And today I've got a video about all the things that I've made during the last couple of months, October, probably a little bit of September as well. And so I've got the reveal for the Sew Upcycled challenge, the things that I've made, a couple of things that I made for my holidays and a pattern test. So if that's the sort of thing that you like to listen to, keep watching. So I'll start with what I'm wearing. This is one of the things that I made for the Sew Upcycle challenge. So if you cast your mind back to the beginning of October, and I said that I've got this little blouse from Marks and Spencer's, I think it was. It's a charity shop one, but I think it's Marks and Spencer's. Really loved this smocking detail here, but I wasn't too keen on the high neck, and I was going to put a little slit there with a little bit of a facing at the back. Now, I did fully intend on doing that, but before I did that, I chopped off the sleeves and I cut it down by about 5-6 inches, something like that. And once I'd done that and added the shirring here, so I've got shirring, two rows of shirring here, rehemmed it obviously, and I've got a couple of rows of shirring here. I thought, do you know what? I quite like it as it is. And I thought it'd be a real pity to break up this smocking detail here, because that is what really attracted me to it. Still feels a little bit tight around my neck, but I thought if I wore it and lived with it, see whether I like it or not, I can still add that little slit to it in time to come. So I decided to leave it as it was. Took it on my holidays and wore it a couple of times. Looked really nice with a pair of high-waisted shorts. Little bit chilly today, I've got to admit, beginning of November. It's just a little bit chilly now to be wearing short sleeves, but the intention was for me to take it on my holidays to Greece, and I did. So the pictures that I'm going to show you with me wearing it, I've got this top on, and then the little shorts that I've got on are upcycled as well from a pair of Camille trousers, so over at Camille trousers, and I made those into Pietra shorts. And I also had a little rucksack with me that was made using the crease backpack, and that is the digital pattern library pattern, and that's made from a shirt. So I was wearing fully upcycled on one of the days on my holidays. So yeah, really pleased with how this has turned out. It's not oversized, it fit me everywhere. If I'm going to be perfectly honest, I think I could have given myself an extra inch at the waist and just left it a little bit longer, but with the high-waisted shorts it's fine. With the trousers that I'm wearing with it today, it's just feeling like every time I lift my arms up it's riding up, but there's no way I'd be wearing it on a day like this anyway. This is definitely going to be sort of confined to holiday wear. So the next upcycle that I made is underneath this shirt here. So I'll talk about this shirt here and then take it off, and we'll talk about it that way around. So the shirt that you can see here, hopefully you can see Mandy wearing it here, is from a 1992 pattern, and I made this specifically for my holidays as something to throw over my shoulders on the cooler evenings. In October in Kefalonia, can get a little bit cool on an evening, and I also wore it sort of travelling as well. So that's the pattern. Let me just take it out of that shiny thing so you can see it properly. So it's from a company, it's from a magazine called Me Magazine. I don't know if anybody subscribed to this back in the 80s and 90s. This is one that I subscribed to and have kept hold of all these years. In fact, no, I was given this one, but I did subscribe to the Me Magazine. So 1992 this is, and you can see that picture. It's a really, really oversized blouse. And if you look at the, I'll insert proper pictures as well. But if you look at that, you can see it's actually pooling down her hands here, and really quite long. Now, although I wanted something quite oversized, I didn't want it that oversized. It's not 1992 now, and I don't think it would have been quite me, what I was looking for. But what really, really intrigued me on this pattern was how these pockets are formed here. And I'll just insert a little bit of a video clip of how it's done. So effectively it's folded up to form these pockets. Made it in, I think it's a viscose poplin that I got from Fabworks. These pockets look a little bit droopy on the mannequin. I think that, that's okay for a holiday wear. I wouldn't be wearing it in the office. But yeah, it's intended to be about 6 inches longer, a lot longer than this. It's probably chopped about 6 inches off the length of it. So it would be more like a shirt dress, but to throw over something. But yeah, I was really intrigued with how these pockets were formed and really enjoyed doing that process. And actually how the collar was fitted was a little bit new to me as well. Obviously this is an old pattern, you're not going to be able to get hold of it, but I thought I'd just share it with you because I made that I made that for my holidays as well. So yeah, really like it, really enjoyed wearing it. Probably if you didn't like the droopiness of these pockets, maybe a cotton voile or something like that would be better. So I'll just strip her off to reveal my second upcycle. Now, Mandy's too broad in the shoulder to actually have me put this on her properly, so I've had to pin it on. So this was the ruffle top sleeve. No, ruffle sleeve top from Peppermint magazine, which I'll insert the before pictures for you. So it had long sleeves, it had ruffles on the sleeves, and it already had a tiered skirt to it and pockets. So the ruffle sleeve top, I actually hacked it into a dress. So I already did that. Absolutely love the fabric. Loved the dress when I made it, but found that I wasn't reaching for it this summer because I've lost quite a bit of weight and it just looked too big on me. So I saw Ruan, she'd made the Tammy handmade rear dress in exactly the same fabric, and I thought, I shall make one of those. So if you see the pictures of me wearing it and compare it to the actual finished pictures of the rear dress that Tammy Handmade's got on her website, you'll notice that mine's significantly shorter. Mine hits me above the knees, and that's because this actual bodice here is significantly shorter than my original bodice, so obviously it brings everything up. So when I was making this originally, I was kind of thinking maybe perhaps I should eliminate those pockets, because I was kind of thinking the pockets would end up under my ribs somewhere, but actually it turned out okay, so I left the pockets in. So all I did was whip off the skirt part of it and then recut the bodice. Now this bodice is lined, so because I've got it pinned on, I can just show you now properly. Hopefully you can see. So the bodice is lined, and I've just used an old sheet to line it, and then at the top here I've just used the tie option, so you can actually put a strap on without ties, or you can use ties. I prefer this method so that you can get it right. It can be a bit fiddly putting straps in and getting it quite exactly right without flashing all your bra and what have you, so I just preferred this. Thought it was a nice detail. So not much else to say about this really. I think a size down. I find some of Tammy Handmade's things a little bit on the big side, so I cut out the size that I thought it should have been, which would probably, can't remember now what I did. I'll put it on the screen. And then when I tried it on, it was a little bit tight. Also, the original top had bust darts on, which you really won't be able to see, maybe slightly there. Yeah, I kept them in. I didn't see any reason why not, really. So yeah, love this wearing this on holiday. These colours speak Greece to me, so yeah, absolutely loved wearing these. So I'm just going to redress Mandy with something else so she's not stood there naked, and I'll come back to you. Okay, so for the next thing that I'm going to show you, it's this jumpsuit that I made from Size Me Sewing. So this is a new pattern. I pattern tested this for Donna, who's the designer behind Size Me Sewing, and I saw her wear this probably last September. She was wearing it at a workshop that she was doing, or a social that we were doing actually. She was wearing her sort of original version of it and said, I'm thinking of bringing it out as a pattern. So I said, well, whenever you need pattern testers, let me know, because I'll happily pattern test for you. So you might have seen these around on a couple of YouTube videos or on Instagram, and it's the Serene jumpsuit, and I absolutely love it. I loved it when I saw it on Donna, and I just really like it. So I've made it out of a viscose, but it can be made out of other woven fabrics as well. But the really clever bit of it is, if I just turn my side there, you've got like a fisherman's type pant wrap going on there. The idea behind it was that you were able to wear a jumpsuit and still go to the toilet. So the top bit remains on when you actually go to the toilet. So that's the clever detail of it, basically. So the top bit is attached to the front of the trousers there, and then we've got a tie detail here that's holding it on. And then if I just lift this side here, you've got the back of the trousers, which are fastened with a piece of elastic, so that allows for any fluctuation. So you just fasten the elastic bit at the front, and allowing you to sit on the low, and you're not flashing all and sundry when you go to the toilet. And it's just got this lovely tie detail, the split leg detail. So if I swish around, you can see that fastens. You can bring that fastening round to the front, or you can leave it at the back. The back bit is actually not attached. That's what's the clever bit about it. But it's not flashing your back neither. And a few people have said, oh, I don't like the idea of it flashing your back. She's designed it really cleverly, whereby you've got the this bit actually lifts up to your waist. I'm not demonstrating this brilliantly, but this bit lifts up to your waist, gives you a little bit of poofiness there at the waist, so it just like gives you a little bit of definition at the waist, but not too much, as if you've got it tucked in, which then allows for the back bit to cover your back as well, so your back's covered. So yeah, I think it can actually be made in a ponte, like a stable knit, and it can be full length, or I've got mine as a cropped length as well. But it's just the tie fisherman detail that I liked about it. The split at the sides, both sides, really like that. And if you've watched any of my videos before, I've made a pair of shorts like that, and I've made a pair of trousers like that. So the fabric is actually really pretty. It's pretty viscose from Lucky Fashions. I've actually bought it specifically to make this toile, and I think I made the 3rd size up. If you've ever made any of Size Me Sewing's patterns, she doesn't use numbers or she doesn't use letters, she uses symbols, so it's difficult for me to actually describe, but I made the 3rd size up and it fits me perfectly. Added a little bit of length. Now all Donna's patterns have come with a full video, including how to put this on, but I might just add that little bit at the end. If you're curious as to how it goes on, I might just add that at the end for you. So the full video is about 3 hours long, loads and loads of hints and tricks of how to sew it, and useful sort of fitting details, particularly if you've made jumpsuits before and you find that you either get a hungry bum or you get, like it's too low hung in the crotch. So really useful. You might think, I don't really want to watch a 3 hour video, it must be complex. That's because Donna's very precise in what she tells you, so you can flick forward to the bits that you need. But I think it's always interesting, you always pick something up. Excuse me. She even goes into details of how to sew a button on with a sewing machine. You might never done that before, you might already know, fast forward. That's my advice. So yeah, love that, and thank you, Donna, for letting me test it, and I'll be making more, I'm sure. Maybe the longer legged one for Christmas.
This is, let's show you here. So they're the trousers out there. This is the back, and you can see the wrong side. So I'm going to take the back, just going to drop it and put it underneath. So I've still got the back here. You can see how the trousers start to form. Now when we were fitting, we took this band here, didn't we? We brought it across the front. What I want you to do is to take it underneath and fasten your buttons. Now I can't show you this bit because the actual tracks I can't kind of get out to show you. If you just bear with me whilst I fasten these buttons. And what I want you really to pay attention, and I did make a point of it, can you see how it's fitted on my waist up here? So it's not down here, it's on the thinnest bit that I can find, which actually coordinates where my leggings go. So it's important that that fits. Imagine if it was longer, the trousers are going to get longer and longer, okay? And the front is going to get lower and lower, which is not a great look. So once you've fastened it there, you'll notice this is lower, but it's designed to have a little bit of a blouse on effect there. So you're going to pull that up. So again, it's on your natural waist. All I've done is cross the ties at the back, and then I'm going to tie it underneath. Should have enough to do a small bow, or you can just do a double tie. That's completely up to you. There we go. So there's the splits at the side, and there's the opening at the back. I really, really like this jumpsuit. I'm really pleased with the fabric. As you can see, you can't see all of your flesh there at the back because it's slightly longer.
You might notice that Mandy's disappeared, and that's because the last thing that I wanted to show you, I've tried to put it on her and she wasn't having it, so I'm having to wear it myself even though it's freezing. So this is the Jaya jumpsuit by Tammy Handmade, and it's a jersey, sort of stretched jersey, like a t-shirting material. I actually had this given. So I will stand back so that you can see it, but I'll insert some proper photographs as well. So it's just a cropped length, all in one, sort of quite low at the back. I would say I had to wear that shirt that I showed you earlier over the top of it. It is a bit low, and that's what I was referring to about putting ties on. At least you can adjust it. You know, you faff about with these ties for a long time, and then you find that it's not quite right and you've already sewn, because it's lined as if you've already sewn it into the lining. So I love the colour. I had the fabric given. Hello, Rogue. Say hello. Here's Rogue. He's not made an appearance for quite a long time. Are you going to get down? I think he's wanting his walk. Get down. He's waiting for his walk. So yeah, it's a holiday jumpsuit, but yeah, it comes with all the issues of what the Serene sort of addresses, in that want to go to the toilet, you've got to strip off. You don't have to do that with a Serene. So yeah, it is a really nice colour. I love the fabric of it. I love the design of it. I actually bought this jumpsuit in the sale a couple of years ago from Makery. I only just got around to making it. So you've just got some ties at the back, a couple of darts in the back. Really quite simple. I think a lot of Tammy Handmaids, that's the beauty of patterns, is that they're quite simple. I can't remember what size I made on this one, but definitely in the realms of holidays. It's low in the front, low in the back, strapless, and it's November. It's still cold. So that's all I've made this month. Apart from one little thing that I wanted to show you. Notice the machine was here earlier. And I picked up this needle felting machine from Facebook Marketplace, and I just had a little go with it. It's just a second-hand machine that I got. Somebody told me that these existed, and I thought I'll see if I can put some classes on. So never done any needle felting whatsoever in my life, and I just made this little sunflower. So this is wool, and that's the back of it, that's the front of it. It's just some wool that I had left over, and I just designed it myself, just to add a little doodle around with it. So really good little fun machine is that. And I will be going to the knitting and stitching show next week after I think it is. And I'm going to see if I can get some proper sort of wool to play about with it, and maybe do some more artistic endeavours on that one. So this is a Simplicity machine. Don't think they manufacture this anymore. I'm not here to sell people stuff, but I thought I'd just mention it because I just had a little bit of fun doing that. Something a bit different to making clothes. So yeah, I will be going to the knitting and stitching show. Last year I did a video about all the different sort of textile artists that were there, and this year I think I'm going to see if I can talk to some of the different vendors about maybe sustainability. So if you think that's a good idea, just let me know, and if you've got any questions about sort of sustainability in sewing that you might want me to sort of put to any of the vendors. I listened to Checky Thread, which is Zoe Edwards, who does the Me Made May, and that inspired me. She did the knitting and stitching show down in London. We get different vendors up here in Yorkshire, We don't get all the southern pattern companies and what have you, so there'll be no tilly in the buttons or sew over it or anything like that up in Yorkshire. Very few actually pattern designers in the Yorkshire one, I've noticed. But you get, you know, a wide variety of other sort of vendors, and obviously it's a commercial thing, isn't it? But if you've got any burning questions on sustainability, or you know, I'll try and look at some of the art again as well, and I'll have a look at that because I think people enjoyed it. So that's it from me. I haven't made anything from the Refashioners book, unfortunately. I didn't have time before I went on holiday. And I'm trying to run a business. So I will, as soon as I've made something from that, I will, because a lot of people showed interest in that, I will sort of come back and give you a bit of a review of that book. So that's it from me. I shall speak to you later. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.